Bars is back. Sam and oh God, what's up with you? Hip Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper.
Attention readers and leaders, world-renowned author Jordan Wells has teamed up with Hip Hop News Uncensored for a special offer just for you. That's right. I want everybody listening under the sound of my voice to click on the link at the top line of the description box and make sure you go grab yourself one of his many books right now. I'm guaranteeing you this book, any one of these books, will change your life and the way that you see things. The link is at the top of the description box. Ready, set, go.
You look at Bad Boy. I don't know if I would have signed it Bad Boy, right? Because Bad Boy doesn't seem to produce a lot of successes. You know, like the counterexample to that might be Russell Simmons, who has produced numerous artists and comedians that have gone on to do great things. Diddy does not have that legacy. You know, even Biggie, didn't. Biggie met his demise, with Diddy. So Diddy has to be held accountable for that. But at the same time, I can't look at Black Rob's fate and say it was your responsibility to save him. Or your responsibility to make sure he had health insurance. Yeah, so I would have loved to have seen, when Black Rob, a lot of guys, what brothers got to understand is that a lot of the things you do in your 20s and 30s, it plays out in your 40s and 50s. A lot of the reason that you see a lot of guys around 50 years old starting to break down, whether it's, and again, I'm not judging at all, but you look at, Dr. Dre with the aneurysm, or you had your boy Nate Dogg who died young. And then, DMX, Black Rob, the list goes on and on and on. A lot of that, not all of it, but a lot of that is basically chickens coming home to roost. Unfortunately, the darker side of hip hop, unfortunately, it can promote a very unhealthy, self-destructive lifestyle, from everything in terms of smoking and drinking all day, having sex with every woman that you see, throwing away all your money. And you live for today. Yo Gotti had a song and it was a great song. I forgot what it was, but in the song, he literally had a verse that said, we're gonna ball today, fuck tomorrow. And that's the exact opposite of a mindset of somebody who is like an investor. An investor doesn't say fuck tomorrow. An investor says, I'm gonna plant seeds today so I can live better tomorrow. Right. And so we got to really kind of think about that in terms of what we allow to influence us. And so I just, my heart went out to Black Rob. I don't know him. I don't know his personal situation. I'm not in any way here to criticize him. We know about DMX and his trauma and the experiences he had. I read DMX's whole bio from the time he was born. This man, everything was stacked against him, starting with his father not wanting him to even be alive, right? And you just kind of go down this path where this poor kid was put through all kinds of hell that we can't even imagine. But the thing about it, though, is that when you get in your 20s, there's a point where you become conscious of your trauma. And that's when you do have a choice to make. It's like, for example, my friend had a baby. And one day her baby came in and laid down on the bed and handed his mama a diaper and said, change me. And she said, that's when I realized he needed to be potty trained, because the day a baby can tell you he needs to be changed is when he don't need to be wearing diapers no more, right? So my point on this is to say that the moment you're able to tell me a story about your trauma, the moment you're able to acknowledge, like, okay, I messed up because this happened, my mama abandoned me, this happened when I was 5, my daddy did this to me, that to me. Well, the minute you're able to kind of conceptualize all that is the minute you are able to make a choice. You're able to decide, look, I need to go get some therapy so I can figure all this out and fix all this. DMX had access to everything. There was nothing he didn't have access to. And at that point, the question is, what choices were made that led to what we saw publicly? So these things don't happen by accident. Success does not happen by accident, and failure doesn't happen by accident. It all comes back to choices.
But that's some great points you made, because we kind of made the exact same point yesterday. Like, these guys are living this crazy lifestyle. When you get in your 40s and 50s, that starts to catch up with you. At what point do you think that hip hop needs to take responsibility and accountability, for promoting, this drug use? I'm sure they probably heard, different things coming up, not to give anybody an excuse, but we all hear it, but you can go whatever way you want to go. But at what point does hip hop step in and the exec step in and say, you know what, this is too destructive on the community. Yeah, you guys got to change the message. Do you think this ever happens?
I think that some people are figuring it out. Hip hop is so diverse, that you can't put all the hip hop in a box, right? You got some hip hop where it's just toxic, garbage, terrible. But then you got so many things that are the contrast to that. So you can't throw hip hop into one category ever. But what I will say is that I think that one light of positivity that we have is you have this reemergence that I've observed with older artists now that are now using the internet to get their music out to the world and their voice out to the world. Like Busta Rhymes, I think Busta Rhymes is doing the best music he's ever done. Yeah, man. Ice Cube still rapping. I saw something with Chuck D and just and I like that because what you see is like when I listen to Ice Cube's music very closely, I saw his voice evolve. He went from crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube up to a guy in his songs where he's literally talking and explaining life and how it works and how to make good choices. And so that's a ray of hope, right? Where you've now got mentorship. You've got OGs that will step in and like even T.I. I know T.I. is going through a lot of stuff, but he does good things. Like I love it when I see him engaging with a young artist that that they're saying some shit that I can't even I can't understand it or connect with it. But he does that in a way where I think that even in the middle of the chaos, they're like, yeah, at least I know that they're at least aware that what they're saying is not so good, not so healthy. What I would like to see, though, is I think that we have to confront corporations. That's what it is. I mean, think about the fact that you could say things about Black people in a hip hop song that you can't say about any other group of people. We can get called any kind of name. Like they can promote genocide amongst Black people, and you can't do that with Asian people. You can't do that with Jewish people, and that's racism. That's structured, systematic corporate racism. That Apple and Spotify will put money behind something that is destructive to the Black community and won't do it anywhere else. Like they won't go promote opioids to white people because white people are dying from opioids. Like they shut that shit down. Right. So I think that we have to challenge the corporations because the corporations are the ones who decide which artists are going to get pushed. So I think that there's hope, but I do think at the same time, you got to take responsibility, man. Like you can't be out here. The biggest bullshit explanation I hear is like when Cardi B says something like, well, it's not my job to mentor your child. You're the parent. Yeah. I have kids. I can't stop my kids from hearing Cardi B. And when you're rapping and teaching a 7-year-old how to be a full-time hoe, like it pisses me off as a father. I'm like, I'm not an absentee father. I'm right here with my kids, but all their friends are listening to it at school.